Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Kyla and I'm so excited to have you here, especially for this really fun video that we're doing today. So you're probably like, Kyla, why do you have this random doll? Well, you're right, she is a doll, but she's not random. Her name is Caroline Abbott and she is a historical, or she's actually a Be Forever / historical American Girl, and she is actually retired, but she is one of my newer dolls in my collection. Now you're probably like, collection? Yes, my friends. I have collected American Girls since I was 3 years old. Kit Kittredge was my first doll. I got her for Christmas. I was 3, and she looked just like me because we both had short blonde hair. And now Miss Caroline kind of looks like me because we both have the flyaway things at the top going on. But anyway, it's on video, me opening her and being like, wait, why did she have short hair? Because I was just so vicious as a child. I don't know. But Kit's pretty old, and I still have her. I actually still have all of my childhood dolls. Over my childhood years, I collected 11 dolls. My sister collected 6. So between the two of us, we accumulated 17 American Girls. And then over time, I just stopped. I think I was 12 when I stopped. Rebecca Rubin was my last doll that I collected, because I collected mainly, yes, all historical and historical best friend dolls. My sister, however, was more into the Girl of the Year dolls. But anyway, Rebecca was the last doll I got, and you can definitely tell between like who was my first and who was my last, because when I was younger, my dolls were so loved and they were so played with, and you know, you can definitely tell who my favorite was, and because it was Kirsten, and Kirsten's hair is so thin, but she was played with all the time. So, and then obviously Miss Rebecca, who, if you do not know, she has curly hair, and curly hair is very difficult to maintain, and her hair is still in like perfect condition about 11 years later. So that's pretty interesting. But anyway, I put my girls in a glass case and really never, I never contemplated selling them or anything like that, but I just kind of had them there, and I just put them in there so they wouldn't get ruined or anything, and they were just kind of left there for the remainder of my middle school years, my whole high school experience, and then obviously when I was in college, and now basically out of college, and they were just kind of left there. I was always gonna keep them, but I was at work. This is funny. I was at work. I remember this distinctly because it was the day before Christmas Eve of last year, 2019. And for some reason, God has a tendency to do this to me where I'll just remember some random thing from my childhood, and then it like all falls into place. And like, as I say all the time, it all connects. So I just started thinking about Kirsten, like I said earlier, my favorite childhood doll. And Kirsten, I read all of her books as a kid, and I honestly only had like one outfit from her collection, and that was just her meet outfit. But for some reason, Kirsten was my favorite doll, and I just started thinking about her. So I Googled her because, yeah, I knew AG was still around and everything, but I wasn't aware of like the new dolls they'd come out with. But anyway, so I Googled her, and you know, her books came up and her family tree and everything, and I was like, oh my God. And then I was really like, oh my God, because I found out she had retired. And then I looked and I saw a bunch of the dolls I have are retired, and I saw all the new Girls of the Years, which I'd missed like a whole decade of dolls, and it was really mind-blowing, and I was like, oh my gosh, this was the best thing ever as a child. Why did I give it up? So then, you know, I stumbled onto YouTube, and I found this whole community of adult doll collectors, and I was like, this is a thing. Now, I have one relative who I always wanted to be like when I was little, because she has like the best doll collection I've ever seen. I've only seen it like once or twice, but from what I remember as a kid, it was so cool, and I always wanted to have that many dolls as a child, and I'll probably slowly get there eventually, but I just thought it was the absolute coolest thing. And so then I realized, you know, these dolls are not just for kids. They're no different than people who collect porcelain dolls, or if you collect, say, baseball cards, action figures, whatever you collect, that is your hobby, that's your passion. I mean, people collect coins. I don't know, like just whatever you want to collect, you can collect that, and you do not need to worry about what people think, because I don't play with them anymore. Like Miss Caroline, she's new to me and has not been played with. However, you better believe I'm going to try a bunch of different hairstyles. I'm going to change their clothes a million times. And then there's also a thing where you take pictures of your dolls and obviously post them on Instagram. And that's a big thing for adult collectors and maybe even some child collectors, but I didn't know that, and that's kind of how you use them as an adult collector. So anyway, what's the big deal? It's just a doll. That's a question I've gotten before, or like other people have, and I totally get that because I'm always like, what's the big deal? It's just like a football game or something. So I've actually filmed this video multiple times, and I have some, I guess like some points and some definite pros as to the benefit of collecting American Girl. I have them from a child's point of view and an adult's point of view. So if you're a parent and you're not really quite sure if you want to spend that much money on a doll for your child, when I was little, obviously my parents bought me Kit and I was 3, and Kit was perfect because she had short hair. I do not recommend buying a doll like Caroline with this long curly hair. These are not her original curls. I did hot water dunk her, and this is how her hair came out. However, I have to brush it with my fingers every day or it will dry out and the curls will become very ratty. And so Caroline is very difficult to maintain, but I love her nonetheless. So if you're not sure you want to spend all that money on a doll for it just to become, you know, the hair gets ruined if it's really, really loved, I totally recommend Kit. And she's still available at American Girl, and Kit is fantastic. So that's a good place to start if you're not sure about the hair, because definitely the hair is a big part of it. And then another thing is each doll, besides the Truly Me line, which are the dolls that come without a name and without a story, and you can kind of do whatever you want with them. But anyway, the Be Forever and the Girl of the Years, or back in the day, Historical and Girl of Today, they all come with stories. They have a book collection, and they have obviously their clothing collection and accessories collection and furniture collection. And so they have already been developed, and their characters are, like I said, developed in the books. And each book, I had a couple of the book sets, they obviously, each book has a lesson in them, and I read all of the book series that I have. There were, back in the day, there were 6 books in each series, and like I said, they each had a lesson. They weren't super long, they were really thin, but a thing I loved about them was, obviously, being legally blind, a lot of books, the print was too small, but American Girl had beautifully sized print, and it was black on white, my favorite contrast, and it was fantastic for me to read, and it really got me into reading, and I never wanted to stop reading, and you know, that was a really good thing. So if you're looking for your child to really, you want them to get into reading, oh my goodness, American Girl books were fantastic. Valerie Tripp, the ones that she did write, did a really amazing job at capturing the doll and bringing them to life and giving them their story. So that is really, really good. I have not read Miss Caroline's books because I didn't know Caroline existed until like a month ago. So I'm looking for her books and I'm gonna read them because she is like probably one of my favorite dolls of all time. And I've only had her for like 5 days. So definitely, if you want your kids to get into reading, and then they can connect with the doll even more. Another thing, honestly, it did teach me responsibility and how to organize, because when you get these girls, you got to take care of them. You really, really do. You have to make sure their hair is in good condition, their clothing is in good condition, you have a good place to store their clothing. My dad hung up a metal rod in one of the cupboards in mine and my sister's room, and that was their closet. And then we just had like little clear drawers that we stored everything in, and I was like super OCD about, you know, this stuff has to go in here and this stuff has to go in here and everything like that. So it does teach you a responsibility, because, you know, like, if you don't want to buy your child a living, breathing pet, definitely an AG doll is perfect for that. And you know, it can also teach them how to do different hairstyles. And I'm actually teaching myself how to braid on Julie's hair, because it's like Caroline's, but it's stick straight. And so it's long and blonde and stick straight. And I, you know, with my vision, it was really hard for me to braid, and it's just something I never actually picked up and learned how to do. I can do a ponytail and pigtails, and I can even curl hair, but braiding is a bit difficult, and I am working on it still to this day as an adult. So those are kind of the things, if, like I said, if you're a parent looking into why my child should have this doll, the main reason for that, though, is you will have a forever friend, I like to say, because, you know, they're not going anywhere, they're not gonna move away, you know, stuff like that. And you can honestly, as a kid, you can take them wherever you want, and everyone will be like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. And, you know, they're kind of a forever friend. And some people have their stuffed animals as kids, and I had my dolls. So anyway, as an adult collector, now this is where it gets a bit more complicated, because people are like, again, a doll, like, do you play with them? No, but like I said, I'm gonna do their hair, I'm gonna buy them clothes, and then I'm gonna take pictures of them, because it's just so much fun. It is definitely a really cool hobby to have, especially if you're into photography and you don't want to like have real models. These are fantastic. I think it is just the coolest thing. It definitely also, as an adult and a child, it allows you to expand on your creativity. If you're more creative, if your mind is more, you know, on the creative side of things like mine is, it definitely allowed me as a kid to expand and create stories. And especially now that I'm older, you can expand and you can create a personality for your doll. They're definitely super fun to have. They're really amazing, and they're worth every penny, because you can do so much with them, and they're just, I can't say enough good things about them, and this is definitely something that will continue to be on my channel. It's not like a fad that I just discovered and I just came up with all these dolls overnight. No, this is about 2 decades worth of collecting, even though I did stop. Like, obviously I have my childhood dolls and then my adult dolls, but I combine them all together. And like I said, they will continue to be on my channel. I will obviously do regular videos, you know, those aren't going anywhere, but the girls will be featured on my channel now that I am back into collecting. I've always loved them. I've always loved hair. I've always loved, you know, telling stories. And I do actually like taking pictures, believe it or not. So they're not going anywhere, and I'm really excited that God put them on my mind again and in my heart and kind of brought them back into my life. So I'm really, really excited. I keep saying that, but I totally am. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and it gave you a little bit more insight as to why American Girl is so special, and so you're not as confused as to why people spend this money on just a doll. So anyway, you guys, thank you so much for listening. If you have not already, hit that subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, and hit that really cool notification bell so you can know the exact moment I post a new video. I will see you all soon. Have a blessed day, everyone.